Alright, this is going to be a little shop tour video. I'm trying to frame this shot so that you can't see just how much of a mess it is outside. I need to make a dump run at some point. Going through this door, which I made out of red oak. Do note that I am a metal worker, not a woodworker. So, that being the case, I think it turned out okay. Here's my drill press station. It's built around that thing that we got from China with a bunch of the other stuff. Has a few drill press related accessories in it. It also wasn't completely square because I actually built the extension to it around it and discovered that not sure how well that shows up on video, but it's off. I don't care that much. This is the latest project that I finished. The table / workbench for the surface grinder. All TIG welded. Top is laminated red oak. And it's held together with steel rods. They're under the plugs there. Kind of surprised by how much that end grain darkened. I'm gonna experiment with doing side grain plugs next time I do this, I think. Not bad though. This is the mill. It's a pretty light duty mill, so it might be upgraded at some point. There is space to go up to the next size, but that's for much later. I haven't really used it that much yet. My dad has a bit. This tool chest is not staying here. There's going to be a workbench that goes here. It's going to be kind of an interesting workbench, multi-layered, because it has to accommodate the lathe swing out for this, for that. I have a plan, I have the steel, just gotta do it. Similar, it's gonna have a similar top to this one, I think. This is a surface plate, cast iron, weighed a freaking ton. It's on a stand that I also made. It kind of interesting because it's designed to like accommodate how the footings are about 3 inches higher than the actual floor. Turned out quite well. It can be adjusted both from the bottom and the top, so everything's perfectly level. Right now it hasn't been adjusted, and right now it's suffering the unfortunate fate of every horizontal surface that can ever be here. Like, my dad and me, but mostly my dad, have this tendency to just occupy any horizontal surface with stuff. I'm hoping as more storage turns up, that'll go away. Speaking of storage, these cabinets are used from another guy. They're not staying. I'm replacing them with something that I like more. What can I say? I'm not big on not big on MDF, medium density fiberboard. Yeah. That's what they're made of. I don't completely trust them, but they haven't collapsed yet. In this space here, there's actually going to be a desk, sort of an L-shaped desk. I have to make that. That's one of the next projects on the to-do list. It's a network center and computer here. Theoretically, there's Wi-Fi down here, but it doesn't work that often. Don't ask me why. Really bright lights. It's like a laboratory in here. Lifting points that are attached onto the rafters, and those rafters are sitting on an inset beam that's within the studs, so it's all really strong. Didn't so much as flex when I had them lift the various things, the lathe being the heaviest. Lathe's seen some use. My dad is still playing around with it. I haven't really used it yet. There's going to be a door here. Obviously not yet. Going into the main shop side. It's a big enough space that you can get a vehicle in here to work on it. And this is the welding bench. One of the projects I got to do next is chop it into 2/3 basically. It's too big for the space we currently have. Above it is the stock storage. Above that, hot water tank. In the corner here, there's going to be sort of a... Well, the work sink's going to be there, and there's going to be other cleaning supplies. The grinder isn't staying there. Once there's more space for it, it's going next to the welding bench. Main bench, it's a steel-topped Douglas fir. Some tool storage above it. Electrical lines for the shop go up through that sort of concrete column there. This whole cinder block wall actually used to be wood, and there was a bit of a balancing act of trying to remove the wood without destabilizing the structure and then putting the structure on top of that, and it worked, and the thing didn't even settle appreciably, so I'm happy about that. Big doors here, steel frame covered in plywood. There's going to be a sliding door in that styrofoam section there. Storage here for the various things that you can't bear to get rid of, but you don't need to get at too often. A lot of fastenings and hangers and infrequently used tools. This is the 3-in-1 machine. Roller, press, and shear. Roller, brake, and shear. Haven't used it that much yet. It is mostly designed for 20 gauge, although it can be convinced to work with 1/16 of an inch. It's gonna get some storage under it at some point. Gotta make the shelves for it first. This is the steel bandsaw. Gets used quite a lot. Way nicer than the abrasive saw I was using before. It's got coolant. It's got active shut-off. Really powerful. Love it. Also love this belt sander. Gets used all the frickin' time. You probably saw that little one there. Had that for a while. It gets used for little stuff. But this thing is a beast. Here's my homemade welding cart. It's like, frick. I made the thing like right after my welding course, so it's pretty old. Still pretty nice though. It's a bit crowded right now with 2 welders in it. Need to modify it so that it sort of has a drawer that brings that big one out. Right now you can't get at it. Acetylene set. Probably not the best place for it, but for right now it's where it's going. It's probably going to go in this corner here once that corner has less other stuff in it. And more of those big bright lights, LEDs, big fuck off beam, some brackets that I made. Used to be held together with 1/2-inch lag bolts, and I had issues with that, so I decided to do it this way. Attic, storage up there. And yeah, that is the Bradshaw shop. Gets used quite a lot. And there's a whole lot more that needs to be put into it. Like, the to-do list for this place is so freaking long, you have no idea. I would include what the to-do list is, but this video is long enough as is. And, yeah. Don't know how to conclude this video, so I'll just leave it here.